Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Tech That Doesn't Byte. I am Simon, and of course, joining me today is my co-host, Jeff Worden.
Hello. How's it going,
Hey
buddy?
man, I'm good, man. How are you?
Doing all right, doing okay. It's Thursday. Thursday? Yeah, today is
Yes.
Thursday. Yay. So yay, we're already over hump day and all that cool stuff. And yeah, we got some fun news coming along this today's episode. That's for darn sure.
Yeah,
Boy. Let me
we
tell
got
ya.
one comment first.
Oh my god. Go you. Chase. That's Chase Rider. That's what I'm
Thank you.
reading.
Yeah,
Thank you, Chase
for the
Rider
comment.
09. You are like the man and stuff.
Yeah,
Woo!
there you go. Yeah, so we're gonna get on to a lot of tech news today. That's
Right.
of course, every time we record, there's always some newer news.
That's okay. Doesn't matter if we're a little behind. It's important we bring it to the people like you who probably just don't have the time to read this stuff. So that's what we're here for.
Yeah, absolutely. So, first thing we are going to talk about is the iPhone because around that time,
Yeah. Yet another iPhone. My gosh,
Yep,
I'm
another
shocked and surprised by that, Simon.
so this article is from Mac Rumors. It's from Kuo. It's an article about Kuo's analysis of the next iPhone 13, and this guy has been pretty accurate about his rumors. Most of the time, whenever he releases a rumor, it actually comes true. So,
Oh, so he's
so
psychic. Cool.
no, you just have really good inside information.
Okay. Well,
Yes,
that helps too.
that definitely helps. So, iPhone 13 to feature LEO satellite communications to make calls and texts without cellular coverage.
Oh,
The iPhone 13 will feature a low Earth orbit, LEO, satellite communication connectivity to allow users to make calls and send messages in areas without 4G or 5G coverage, according to reliable analyst Ming-Chi Kuo.
Hmm.
In a note to investors seen by Mac Rumors, Kuo explained that the iPhone 13 lineup will feature hardware that is able to connect to LEO satellites. If enabled with the relevant software features, this could allow iPhone 13 users to make calls and send messages without the need for a 4G or 5G cellular connection. The iPhone 13 reportedly features a customized Qualcomm X60 baseband chip that supports satellite communications. Other smartphone brands are apparently currently waiting until 2022 to adopt the X65 baseband chip necessary to implement satellite communication functions. SpaceX Starlink is a previewer of LEO internet connectivity, as some readers may already be familiar with. But the LEO satellite communication service provider that is most likely to cooperate with Apple in terms of technology and service coverage is said to be Globalstar. Qualcomm has purposely been working with Globalstar to support the N53 band and future X65 baseband chips. So it talks about a lot of this, this possibility that you can make phone calls, using satellite connectivity without cellular connectivity.
Interesting.
But after this article came out, a few more articles that kind of I think supposedly debunked the rumor that it wasn't going to come out in iPhone 13. But according to Bloomberg, let me share that article with everyone.
All right.
This is also an article from Mac Rumors, but they're just talking about the Bloomberg article. So Apple working on emergency satellite features for iPhones. 2021 launch unlikely. So it's unlikely to come in this year's iPhone.
Okay.
Apple is working on satellite capabilities for the iPhone that will allow users to send texts in emergency situations, reports Bloomberg. The feature would also allow iPhone users to report crashes and other emergencies in areas where there is no cellular coverage. So there are at least 2 emergency features that rely on satellite networks. And while satellite technology has been worked for years, these capabilities are not likely to launch in 2021. The first feature, emergency messages via satellite, is designed to let users text emergency services and contact using a satellite network when there is no signal available. And it will be integrated into the Messages app as a third communication protocol alongside SMS and iMessage. It will feature gray message bubbles rather than green or blue, and message length will be restricted.
Okay.
So we won't know if this feature is going to be coming out this year, because it's either this year or next year.
Right.
I would say probably next year.
Yeah, it sounds like they're definitely prepping for it, which is not a bad idea. I'm actually kind of in favor of the idea of at least the satellite link being used for emergency purposes only, and maybe even leaving it that way, have every cell phone allow for that, because at the very minimum, and let's talk about Hurricane Ida just as an example of that.
Yeah.
Cell towers around, people couldn't communicate or whatever. So you have this option, and that's a chip available in all the phones. People go, oh yeah, I'm trapped, at my house, or I'm top of my roof, which is usually a common thing when flooding occurs. Here's my address, or what's supposed to be my address, and you can get there. That actually would help paramedics and rescue units to find you. So that's a great idea. But I get the impression that they're looking to put everybody on that, just like instead of the cell towers. And I'm a little iffy about that personally. But I mean, if a satellite can handle it, that's great. But I'm not sure really how fast satellites are, or more so than cell towers are.
Well, it's better than nothing.
Well, no, it is. You're right about that.
It's the thing is, like, how many of these, if this technology does get implemented,
right,
and Apple does it first, when will this technology trickle down to other manufacturers? Right, and you got to consider, like, what kind of smartphones going to implement this, because if it's like high flagship ones that, the phones that cost like $800 or up to
$1,000.
Yeah. What about people that are buying mid-range phones?
Yeah.
They don't get the option. So that kind of sucks.
Well, if it's that important, or there's such a need for it, they'll probably put it in the mid-range ones. It'll cost more, obviously, but at least you'll have it. And people, I think, generally speaking, are pretty willing to pay quite a bit for a phone, provided, of course, that they intend to use it for as long as they're able to. Use it.
That's true. If that's true, there wouldn't be mid-range smartphone pricing.
Well, okay. I mean, for me personally, I could afford a $1,000 phone. I just think that's stupid, so I don't buy $1,000 phones. That's just dumb. So
not yet.
Yeah, I am confident that there's nothing that any Android provider or manufacturer, could possibly make that one say, yeah, you know what? I need to blow $1,000 on this. That's just dumb. And I wouldn't do that. That's silly. But if I do wind up ponying up that kind of cash or something akin to that, I guarantee you I am going to hold into that phone until it doesn't breathe anymore. It doesn't even know what an electron is to send signals or burn all the chips out on it, whatever it takes. Yeah. Then I'll get another phone. So at least I'll get every freaking dollar.
You're gonna basically drive it to the ground.
I'm going to drive it into the ground, whether physically or whatever.
What are you doing right now with your phone?
Exactly. I mean, it's an older phone for sure. It's an older phone, but it works well. I don't have an issue with it. I have to clear the cache on it. I've got programs on there that'll take care of all that good stuff for me. So it works very well for my purposes. I don't have an issue with it. So I have no reason to upgrade my phone unless I really want to. I may have a free upgrade coming my way. I might consider that, but
unless it gets damaged to a point
or
where
if it gets damaged. Exactly. It all depends, but I just don't see myself spending a horrific amount of money on a phone unless I really, 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 really have to have it or really want to. But that rarely ever happens. So,
well, there's a whole crowd of people that will spend money on phones every year.
Right. And I'm not one of them.
Yeah, you're not one of them.
And I'm not one of them.
Yeah. So who knows? I think, right now, September. So it's either sometime in a couple weeks from now.
Yeah.
Excuse me, everyone. I think there will be some sort of Apple event, probably towards the end of September, mid-September, or early October. Because that sounds like the perfect time. They do it around this time anyways.
Right. Well, you got to prepare for Christmas because that's always a big rush right there. So that totally makes sense. Yeah.
It's always a rush when there is an event, so they don't care.
Yeah, no, that's true. So, yeah, I don't know. The satellite idea is a good one because there are areas, are in the US, which are around the world.
I think it's perfect. Like, these are for hikers, man.
Oh yeah, no, that'll be perfect for hikers. Absolutely. You get lost up there and you don't have a Boy Scout with you, there you go. It's like me or any of the kids in my troop from way back. So yeah, there you go. Yeah, that definitely would save a lot of grief of like being lost. You don't have, oh my God, I can't reach everybody. There are no bars, that kind of thing. But if you're trying to get away from technology, unfortunately, the satellite actually allows you to still connect. Granted, it sounds very low band, so you don't have to worry about like running games or crap like that.
It's only for emergency.
Right. Well, then they shouldn't have to worry about that part of it. So yeah, there you go. So sounds interesting. I'm intrigued to see where that's going to go.
Yeah, me too. So we'll see if it does include that technology.
Right.
So
exactly.
Another comment. Second.
Hey, from Ephraim Winslow. What's up, buddy? Ephraim. Yeah, that's an I. Okay, I just wanted to make sure I was reading that right. Welcome to the show, Ephraim. Thanks for coming.
All right. So let's move on to our next topic. And our next topic is about China cutting children's online gaming to an hour.
Oh my God. Jack. Yeah. So if you've been having trouble trying to get your under 18 kids to play less video games, you know what? You could always send them to China. There's a happy thought, right? Okay. So according to the BBC, the National Press and Publication Administration has laid out an edict that game playing would only be allowed between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. only on Fridays, weekends, and holidays. It also instructed gaming companies to work their servers so that it will prevent children from playing outside this 1 hour allotment. And what a shock, inspectors will be visiting these online gaming companies way more frequently to ensure that the time limits are being enforced. Now, it should be noted per the article that the earlier rules had limited children's online game playing to 90 minutes per day, rising to 3 hours on holidays. So no more of those shenanigans. Let me tell you there. All right. Now, Simon, I'm going to ask you a question here. Okay. Why do you think the government of China is doing this?
Because they can.
Well, that's not a bad answer because you know what?
It's for, I mean, they're only not just cutting stuff in technology. They're doing other things in other fields too. So I've seen it, what's going on. I've been reading about it. It's for child mental health.
That's actually not far from the truth because the government basically cares about their youth and in turn the future leaders of tomorrow, unlike some governors in Florida we could talk about. But that aside,
don't get too political now.
No. It's hard to be very political about that, but I understand what you're saying. Anyways, the government is very concerned about the impact of excessive gaming on the young. So you see, a state media outlet had branded online games as spiritual opium, quote unquote. And right around the same time, another article published by a state-run newspaper, Economic Information Daily, claimed that many teenagers have become addicted to online gaming and it was having a negative impact on them. And speaking of negative impacts, the article caused shares in these online gaming companies to fall. Oh my God, the economy! But compliance is definitely on the horizon. It seems that in this past July, Chinese gaming giant Tencent had announced it was rolling out facial recognition software to stop children from playing between 10 p.m. to 8 a.m. And this move followed fears that children would start using adult IDs to circumvent those rules. Yay. So, yeah, China.
No, China just not just going through the gaming world, but also they went through I guess this is somewhat tech related, the online education sector as well, where a lot of parents and children can no longer hire, purchase classes with foreign teachers through like the online English teaching platform. They can those are effectively banned now.
Wow, that's right. Yeah, since you were a part of that, you know.
I used to be. Right.
I
used to do it for quite some time, and now I know I'm part of some couple of those teachers' Facebook groups that those companies were in, and it a good example is a ByteDance.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the company name. Yeah,
ByteDance has an online teaching platform, online English teaching platform.
Right.
Basically hire teachers here in US and Canada or North American teachers to teach students English.
Right.
So these are extracurricular activities, but ByteDance shut down that company because they own it. Just once the official without warning, and also once the official rules from China was implemented by the education department or something like that, they just shut it down without giving the teachers any heads up, or also like giving a chance to say goodbye to their recurring student. And they're just like, and it started like trickling this wave of like these companies are either downsizing or starting to like, end their programs. I mean, from what I read is that if the parents already pre-purchased those classes, they could still finish it off, with those teachers, and that's it.
Right.
It's like done,
Wow.
one and done. That's it. So that effectively, that I feel like that whole area of online education in that country it's gone now.
Right.
Like,
Well,
with a single touch, gone.
Well, it's hardly surprising that China can actually accomplish like that. Yeah, they're all about the great firewall of China that we always kind of joke and hear about. They block a lot of content. The fact that they have that level of control over companies and servers and that sort of thing is kind of astonishing.
So when you sent me this article, I was not surprised at it.
Oh yeah, no, I'm sure.
Surprised.
Yeah, and granted, they're doing it more under the guise of, we don't want kids playing too much online or the gaming and whatnot. Obviously, this is affecting online learning too, which is not something that this article mentions either. So that's actually really interesting. Yeah, I was thinking more of like, they're going to stop gaming people. So now what are these kids going to do? And granted, we're in a global pandemic. It's not like they could necessarily go outside and play with other kids, sort of. But or gather in places where people can gather and that kind of thing.
So I mean, you don't really know the situation in that country.
That is true.
So
that is true.
Every country is a little bit different.
True. That is true. That is true. But yeah, so that should eventually see how that's going to work for China as a whole. At least from a gaming standpoint, that they're not going to let these kids play games any more than an hour a day, or I'm sorry, an hour a weekend. That'd be a better way to put that, or 1 hour a day over the weekend. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to see how that goes. Very intrigued by that. Definitely intrigued by that.
So our next article is, there's a release date for Windows 11.
Yay! All right. So Windows 11, ladies and gentlemen, finally has a release date. It is literally just over 30 days from today, October 5th, 2021.
Yeah, crazy.
All right, according to the CNET article here, it will be free to existing Windows users starting on that date. However, according to Microsoft's blog, the new operating system, the first major update in about 6 years or so, won't roll out to every Windows device at once. And it won't have every new feature promised as of yet. Yeah, right?
Okay, why release
well, they want to oversell it than under provide, whatever. So while Windows 11 will look more like a Mac in design, have an updated start menu, new multitasking tools, and integrated Microsoft Teams software, it will not have support for Android mobile apps. That was a happy thought, right? Nor did Microsoft offer a date for when Android apps would be available either. Apparently, per their blog post, they will be doing preview testing in the coming months. So, yeah, and I remember actually we were talking about this in the in the previous Bytecast about the availability of being able to use Android apps on Windows 11 or on their online platform for Office or something along those lines. And God, geez, yeah, they won't allow it on that, but they said, Windows 11, but now they seem to be stopping that now as well. So even if you have a Windows compatible device, it doesn't mean that you'll have access to Windows 11, as it'll be done in a quote unquote phased and measured manner, with newer devices getting the upgrade first. And after that, it'll work its way down to the older machines between October 2021 through mid 2022. Now, of course, in order to get Windows 11, you need to have Windows 10 first. Amusingly, if a given machine isn't compatible for whatever reason, you can still manually download a version of it that isn't supported by Microsoft. So here's that. And on top of that, if you're not on the bleeding edge, you're not the bleeding edge sort of person like Apple fanboys and fangirls tend to be, Windows 10 will be supported through October 2025. So if you get Windows 10, you could totally wait like forever and a day before you upgrade to Windows 11. And presumably by that time, they'll have worked out the kinks and so forth.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure, and by that time, maybe all the features that they, overpromised and whatnot will show up too. So,
yeah, but
yay!
a lot of things that you have to be aware of is, the Windows 11 requirements are pretty different than what they were before. I think there's a chip that's required to have in your computer. Let's see, what was it called? Oh my gosh.
I don't remember there being a chip particularly
Yes.
mentioned and whatnot.
Yes, Windows 11 TPM 2.0. You need to have that chip in your computer in order for it to be compatible.
Well, I guess I'm screwed, and I'm not getting that one anytime in your future.
Well, you're screwed now, but
well, that's beside the point.
No, you could just go on YouTube and look for someone already found a way to circumvent that.
Nice. That's awesome. Go hackers.
Yeah, I know exactly, right? Go hackers.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Stick it to the man where you can. But yeah, if you guys actually are up on your Windows 10 machine, you got newer machines.
Wrong word. I shouldn't circumvent. It's a way to bypass that check method.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, I would presume, I hope that even if you bypass that the computer can actually handle Windows 11 in and of itself. That's the other part of it.
From what I saw on the video, it looks pretty good.
Well, I mean, the only reason I'm asking is if that particular chip is required, why is it? Well, if that's the case, then obviously if you can circumvent it, you're not, doing yourself any favors by having the chip. It doesn't matter.
But there are people with the hardware that don't want to buy a new machine, like yourself,
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they still want to run Windows 11. You said yourself earlier you want to buy things, you want to run to the ground.
Yes, so, yes, I do.
Yeah,
stuff's expensive, man. I've got to squeeze every dollar out I can, man.
Yeah,
whatever.
It's true.
Whatever.
It's true.
Whatever.
Yeah. So
right, hey,
October 5th.
October 5th, man. If you want Windows 11, boom, that'll be available at that point in time. And as long as like I said, unless you got a really fairly newest machine, it's going to be a while before you get it, but not like a terribly long time, I think. I would imagine most members of my family could probably get it like pretty soon, obviously against myself, but versus like a lot of other people who might upgrade. So we'll see.
Yeah. So Jeff is still on Windows 7.
Yes, I am, and it works just fine. Thank you very much for asking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, except for the security patches that are not being patched for you.
Well, obviously.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Let's move on to our final story.
All right, what do we got?
And there is a rumor.
Not a rumor.
That Google is developing a CPU for Chromebooks.
Ooh.
This article is from PC Mag, and expect an ARM-based processor used for Google laptops and tablets running Chrome OS. So, where Apple ventures, other follows. Yeah, it seems like it. So it should come as no surprise that Google has decided to develop its own CPU for Chromebooks and tablets. Google's already going down the custom. Oh, sorry.
There, is that better?
Yeah, there we go. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I gotta take a sip of water real quick.
There we go. Feeling better?
Yeah. So I don't know what happened. Google's already going down the custom silicon path for the Pixel 6 smartphone. But according to Nikkei Asia, the same is also happening for laptops and tablets running Chrome OS. Oh, yeah. So we did mention that the Pixel 6 is going to use some sort of custom silicon that they have.
Okay.
No. 3 sources says Google intends to have the new CPU ready to ship in devices coming 2023. Apple has already proven it's possible to switch away from Intel chips from desktops, PCs, and laptops, as well as ARM processors offered by third parties for mobile devices.
Right.
Google already committed to custom silicon for the future Android phones and the huge R&D investment that involves. So the doing the same for Chrome devices won't come as too big as a surprise to the industry and investors.
Right.
The new processor is expected to be based on an ARM design and will inevitably end up being compared to Apple's M chips.
Which
the biggest challenge for Google may not be designing the chip or even the competition on the consumer market. With the current global semiconductor shortage expected to last for years, Google may struggle to actually get the chips manufactured.
Ugh, that's not good.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. And it'd be interesting to see how Google's going to measure against Apple, because Apple's been manufacturing chips like since its inception. Obviously, they got away from that for a while. Now they're coming back to it with the M1 chip, the M series chips, I should say. So now I'm kind of curious.
They haven't really made their own chips. Well,
Apple, yeah, they did. Yeah, no, they totally did. They got away from that for the longest time. But obviously because they were using a lot of Intel chips and whatnot. But last year before, either last year or the year before, so last year they got away. They decided, you know what, screw it, we're going to make our own. Here's the M series, Intel, bye-bye, contract's over, we're done. And that's the end of that. So
yeah, seems like it. It seems like their contract's pretty much coming. Yeah, I think so. That's the reason why they were able to announce it.
Right. Well, I'm kind of intrigued to see how Google's going to pull this off and see how it will compare to the M1 chips. But I don't know. But yeah, obviously with the supply shortage for materials to make the chips, that's gonna be tough. That's gonna be really tough.
Well, that in general affects every single company.
Oh yeah.
It's not just Google, even affects Apple.
Oh well, it affects everybody. Obviously, it's going to affect everybody. But like I said, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, obviously, if there is a lack of supply to create the chips, and thus less chips, the cost of the chips go up. That's the nature of how supply and demand works. So along with this new chip coming out, you can expect that everything else is going to get more expensive, including your phones, TVs, computers, anything that even remotely requires a motherboard of any kind or a chip of any kind. It just expected to go up. Which is probably why you want to e-cycle everything as much as you can, and hopefully that'll actually help that part of the problem. But I just don't know how much that's going to help. Honestly, I just don't have numbers for that.
Really?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Man, if there's a way to make more money, they're just going to not going to let you know.
No, that's true. Well, fortune favors the bold and the first who come up with the idea. So yeah, that's usually how it works. And welcome to America. Please enjoy your stay. Yay.
Yep. So let's see what Google's chip look like in 2023.
Yep. Looking forward to
it. Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Well, that does it for this episode of Tech That Doesn't Byte Cast. Thank you everyone for watching this stream. If you do like it, please make sure to hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to our channel. Make sure to also follow us on your favorite podcasting app. If you are listening to this on your smartphone, computer, or any other device you're using, try it. If you can, please leave a review. I'll be grateful.
Absolutely. Definitely want to like and subscribe to us. I want to give a big shout out to the first two people who actually chatted with us on our show today. Thank you for joining us today. Please come back next week. We're usually around on Wednesdays. Thursday's an exception today, but definitely on Wednesdays around 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. We'd love to have you join us again. Tell all your friends about us. We'd love to have you here.
Absolutely. And please stay tuned for more review videos, how-to videos. They'll be coming up pretty soon. We have basically a new release schedule. All our reviews and how-to videos will be released every other week because we are only
just us.
It's the editing time. I'm sorry.
It's just us. It's just us, the editing, getting the products, all that stuff. Not for lack of wanting to do it more frequently. It's just us.
It's just us. So we're changing it to every other week. So you should be expecting some new video sometime within the next few days.
Hopefully soon. Yeah. So got some fun stuff to talk about. Definitely got some fun stuff to talk about.
Oh yeah, definitely. All right, everybody. We will catch you guys next time.
Have a good one. Everyone. Take care.